I did a video about Francis Mallmann and his style and how it has inspired my own style. And so many of you commented, thank you so much. I loved it. So I thought today it would be fun to do a follow-up video based on a lot of your comments. First of all, many of you love Francis Mallmann like I do, love his style, but felt like where you live is too warm to adopt some of the looks that I showed. So I want to show you some ways that you can make his style work for warmer climates. And also many of you commented about other iconic men's style that I revisited, and that was quite fun. So let's start with Francis Mallmann. All right. In this first image, what I loved about it is his choice of color, first of all. He's got this unstructured jacket and then this gorgeous linen shirt in coral, paired with a simple black pant and then, of course, the straw hat. I liked this idea of the fact that this outfit, first of all, we have that gorgeous coral color. I liked his choice of palette, and I liked the texture of the straw hat. So this is what I propose, doing flowy linen kind of fabrics that are really easy to wear, that are really comfortable, that are breezy, and then adding in that texture with a straw bag or an interesting sandal, keeping the fabrics unstructured and quite flowy. Not necessarily pairing a straw hat here, doing maybe a bandana if you like. And you can take this idea and make it quite dressy as well. What I really loved about his outfit is the choice of colors. So choosing colors that are kind of muted, but still somewhat bright and interesting, and putting them together like that coral with that linen-y color is kind of where the magic in that outfit for me happens. Okay, next outfit is this blue dress shirt with this white floral unstructured jacket and again a pair of black pants. Now this is what makes his style so interesting, is that there's that romantic feel about it. There's the kind of unexpected. You would not expect to see necessarily a man wearing a floral jacket like that, especially when it's a little bit long, but I think it's so great. And he is so authentically himself, and that's what I admire so much. So this idea of doing a printed shirt over a pair of jeans, for instance, I think is a great summer look. So I liked the idea of taking that print and kind of running with it. Of course, doing it in a dress with a big pair of kind of gaucho style boots is a great interpretation of that look. Doing a longer shirt that's printed over a pair of jeans, doing again, a long shirt over a striped shirt. You don't even have to do the striped shirt underneath, depending on where you live and the kind of weather. The whole idea is adding in an element that's kind of a print that feels romantic and also doesn't feel serious. This is another place where you can be as dressy as you'd like or as casual as you like. Okay, let's move on to the next man that I think is fabulous. I talked about him in the fall in another video that you may have seen on styling menswear. I have to say I love this man's style, Bihlmaier, and you had commented that you also love him. So I thought this would be a fun place to start, especially for a summer look. What I love about his style is I feel like he's a little bit cheeky. I feel like he's a little bit like, doesn't care what anybody thinks, totally wears what he likes. And I feel like he tries almost to look unkempt somehow, which I have to admit I really admire, because you have to be kind of cheeky in order to get away with it. So I wanted to break down this outfit. Really, really simple, classic Americana, this kind of military pant, army pant, gray t-shirt, baseball cap, and then the bandana around. And of course, a necklace tucked in there as well. I find he does layering really well, layering of accessories. If you notice, he's got rings, he's got a bracelet and a watch. It's all very simple, but really, really cool. So of course I was really inspired by those pants. I love a great military pant. And in fact, I'm on the hunt for a pair vintage. I used to have tons when I was younger, and I think it's such a great look because it's not too serious. It has a casualness about it, but I still feel like you can really dress this up if you want. A great military pant with a white shirt always gonna look fantastic. Instead of keeping the gray of the t-shirt, I liked this idea of doing the military pant with a blue shirt. I think that's such a gorgeous combination. The green and blue to me work perfectly. Of course, you can do this in a really kind of high fashion, casual kind of way with a great t-shirt and a little heel. And then I liked the idea of taking this look one step further. And instead of doing that kind of military pant, doing a skirt with the same kind of feel, styled with a t-shirt, and then again, the layering of necklaces. You could also add a bandana in here, but I love the kind of chic casualness of this outfit. And then of course, you can take this even further, make it even dressier with a more stylized cargo type pant, cargo type skirt with a great blue shirt. Fantastic, I love it. And such a departure from the original outfit, but I love this idea of interpreting his basic style in that kind of way. So next outfit of Doug's. This is another outfit that I absolutely love. This kind of white tunicky shirt with a basic pair of really beautifully worn in jeans, fantastic hat, and then a great leather sandal. Love this outfit, and I feel like this is such a great summer look. The idea of doing white with a wash denim like that is always classic, always fantastic. We switch out the hat for a great basket bag. And I liked the idea of playing around here a little bit with proportion, doing an oversized shirt, a long shirt over a pair of jeans, doing a t-shirt, a fedora hat with a balloon style jean, perhaps switching out the white for a pale pink and a pair of jeans, or getting rid of the jeans altogether and just doing a really great crisp white dress shirt, adding in a hat again, basket bag for that texture, or taking that palette, that beautiful soft palette of white and that worn denim, and doing a soft blue dress shirt, dressing it up a little bit. I feel like you can layer in the necklace like him, you can do a great sandal, and you've got a forever classic, great summery, fresh look. So finally we have Johnny Depp. One of you commented saying that you've always loved Johnny Depp's style. And I must admit, I hadn't really ever thought about his style. I mean, yes, of course I've seen it, and it never connected with me. So I revisited this one, and I have to admit, this was a lot of fun. His style is actually really quite interesting. He's got a little bit of that cheekiness like Doug, where he doesn't really care what anybody thinks about how he dresses, but he also has this really classic chicness that for me feels very inspired by spending time in France. So let's start with this first look. This kind of super chic red carpet monochromatic shirt, again playing with the layers of the jewelry, having the hat, which adds that beautiful texture and that little extra color to this monochromatic outfit. This outfit is so chic. I was so surprised. And I feel like there's a lot of ways to interpret this outfit that are really great for a hot summer day. First of all, doing a white jean with a white shirt, fedora hat, great bag, so classic, so chic, never gonna go out of style. This can be really breezy, really casual in linens, softer fabrics. You can switch out that big hat for a basket bag. You can play around with that color palette here, adding in softer hues, adding in browns from leather or browns in terms of accessories. And this is another place where you can go very dressy with something like this, or very casual. Adding in a skirt instead of a pair of pants if you wanted, keeping it really flowy, keeping it really fresh, really classic, and really simple. Okay, so I love this next look of Johnny Depp's. I think it's so cool. There's kind of like a little bit of a rebellious feel here, and he really does this idea of high-low dressing quite well, in my opinion. He's got this beautifully made fedora hat on, and then this quite slouchy pair of jeans, a sneaker, and then this amazing military jacket. So this is not a perfect look, obviously, for somebody in Southern California, but I kind of went down a rabbit hole of this whole idea. So I'm going to show you a lot of looks of how you can interpret this idea to make it work for you and your climate. All right, first of all, I loved this idea of having this flowy floral dress, a little cowboy boot, and then the military jacket over top. Instead of the hat, again, we have a basket bag. Doing a military jacket over a pair of jeans, I think that's so chic and is perfect kind of high-low styling in my opinion. And then not everybody loves that camouflage print. I personally do, but I liked this idea of adding in this army jacket over a black dress. Look at how great this woman looks. Like, it makes her look cool, really chic, and really stylish. Again, over an all white outfit, same idea. It just kind of elevates the whole look to something a little bit special and something a little bit rebellious, but also kind of fun. Love it over this kind of dressy white dress with a little heel. Of course, doing it over a pair of jeans, adding in a great sneaker, a cute little clutch, and then I love the bandana in this outfit because it gives it that spirit of Johnny Depp's. And then I loved this look of how this military jacket all of a sudden becomes quite dressy, looks very designer, and is super chic. So this could go either way. You could go really high end, or you could keep it really low, streetwear type thing. But I also loved the idea, instead of having the jacket in the camouflage print, introducing it in a pant. Ugh, love this so much. With a white shirt, with a cute little jacket, with a blazer. So many ways to wear this that I think is so chic, has that rebellious spirit, and I feel like is really, really cool. So that is it, my ideas. Hope you feel inspired. Hope this sparks more comments because I love reading them. I love hearing from you. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Of course, you can hype this video. That's always great too. Tomorrow, I have my Blame It on Venus workshop, online workshop, June 13th, Saturday, June 13th, 2 to 4 p.m. It's going to be a lot of fun. Tickets are still on sale. You can check those out on the website. And of course, lastly, like always, if you want to see what I'm up to, see what I'm wearing, then don't forget to follow me on Facebook and on Instagram.